We have a gentleman who is well known, not in our community and not in our country, but throughout the world today. This is a man who is admired by many because of the courage of his convictions. He's a very outspoken individual. He has certain beliefs, and those beliefs he carries with him at all times. His beliefs, as a matter of fact, are impregnable. He's recently returned, I probably should say, from Africa, where he held conferences with many of the leaders of the African countries. He's been in Asia. As a matter of fact, I believe he was away this time approximately some 3 months. Longer than I've known. He says it was 5. It didn't seem that long. He was away 5 months. And, you know, when I look back a little ways, I guess a few years, I can remember the time when it was rather difficult for my guest tonight to be permitted to appear on any radio show or TV show in the United States, except my show. And I don't know whether I ought to feel very proud or not. I do. That I had the courage to let him say what he wanted to say way back years ago, and now it seems as if there are many, many others who want to hear what Malcolm X has to say these days. Malcolm, it's a pleasure always to see you, and a pleasure to have you with me once more. And I don't know whether you know it tonight or not, but after our show here tonight, I'm going to the Virgin Islands. And I made it my business to stay here one more night so that I could be here with none other than Malcolm X. Malcolm, always glad to have you.
Well, it's really a privilege and an honor.
Now, do tell us something about your trip and about your beliefs as of today. I remember that the last time that you were here, there was somewhat of a change, I won't say variance, but somewhat of a change in the thinking that you had some time ago to your thinking of today. And no doubt you want to express yourself relative to that during the course of the program also. So, to you, the mic.
Well, I'm really happy to be here, Joe Rainey, and I'm honored and pleased. As you said, this is one of the few programs a few years ago that I could get on in this country and get an objective reception. During the past 5 months, I've been in Africa and the Middle East, doing some traveling, trying to broaden my scope. I think that travel is one of the best ways to broaden one's scope. If a person travels throughout this world or throughout any country, and his scope doesn't get broadened at that time, it never will. And one of the things I have learned, I guess you remember when I was here in May, I think it was May, I had just come back then from the Middle East and from Africa, and at that time my mind had been pretty well broadened. My slant on things had changed somewhat. I think I could see more objectively and probably see farther. But I still couldn't see far enough to feel satisfied that I could walk around here and tell our people anything at all about either religion or anything else. And so it was for that reason that I ended up going back and traveling for the past 5 months, again on the African continent and throughout the Middle East. And one of the very strange experience in a way that I had that has made a profound image in my mind, in my memory. I was traveling from, I think it was Algiers to Geneva about a month ago on an airplane from Algiers in Algeria to Geneva, Switzerland. And on the plane there were 3 of us sitting together. We had met on the plane, and all 3 of us were from America. The other 2 were white. One was a male and the other was a female. The male was an interpreter for the United Nations. He was based in Switzerland, though he was an American. He was based in Geneva. And the girl worked for one of the embassies in Algeria, I think in Iran. And we had flown through the air for 40 minutes, I imagine, on the way to Geneva, and had a nice, easygoing conversation, as 3 human beings, you might say. And then out of the clear blue sky, the lady asked me, she said, if you don't mind me asking you a personal question, I would like to know what last name you could have that begins with X. She had seen my briefcase, and on it, it has M and it has X. So she had sit there racking her brain, I imagine, wondering